Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel.
Back up on my bullshit, back up on the scene. Done dealing with you, don't know how to deal with me. Done fucking with you, don't know how to love me. Done dealing with you, so.
There's Pluty. Always got my cat with me, yeah. A lot of people have been asking about Pluto, so they want to see him up close and cute and cuddly. But don't be rude. He says hi. He's a little shy. It's okay. Today I'm going to be talking about, well, first of all, let's do a rewind. It's VMCAS opening day, and today is January 23rd, 2020. I have hair on my face. 2024. Bam. Yeah. With that being said, I'm gonna start. This is the beginning of a series, and the series is gonna be called, Pluto's hair is flying everywhere, Journey to DVM. Pretty much I'm gonna be talking about everything VMCAS related as things open up, as programs open up, blah 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 blah. I did misspeak in my last video when I said like I thought each program opened up at different times. I lied to y'all. I'm so sorry. I think all the programs are open now. I'm pretty sure that the personal information section, academic history, and the supporting information section is open. But besides the point, we're still going to talk about, personal statements and personal essays and all that good jazz in this video today. So let's go ahead and get into this video. I don't really have talking points like I usually do with my phone. Peep my new case, guys, like a little crock case. It's cute. But I don't really have talking points. I feel like the personal information section is slightly self-explanatory. Like in a sense that you don't really have to, like, you don't need me for that part. You're just filling out your personal information in terms of your name, your address, information about your family dynamic, your parents' history of school and your history of school and where you went to school at. Like, it's very basic information in that department. So unfortunately, y'all don't need me for that. But that means it's going to be a pretty short video because I don't have to explain a lot. We're going to get into the nitty gritty. We're going to talk about these essays because that's what everybody wants to know. Everybody wants to tea on the essays. Like, what do I do for my essays? What do I say for my essays? And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to read you guys my personal statement. And I think I told y'all in my last video when I talked about VMCAS stuff, it's a very, very personal. But I will read it for you guys just because I know you guys are applying too. So I will read it for you and I'll read you exactly what my personal statement said and what the question was for the personal statement. Because again, I applied almost 2 years ago. Oh my gosh. I applied almost 2 years ago. That's crazy. I'm going to actually go get my laptop. I'm going to come back. I'm going to let you guys hear it. And then we'll talk about the do's and don'ts and things of that sort. I will be right back.
2 hours later.
Starting off with the personal statement question. It's really not a question, but it's just, the prompt, I guess. And you're going to answer that according to that. So it says, although there's no set of rules mandating what a strong personal statement should include, here's a few tips. Explain a defining moment that helps steer you towards a career in veterinary medicine. Consider using that moment as the focal point of your essay. Be original and thoughtful. Discuss how you would contribute to the profession and patient care, all of which will help you stand out from other applicants. As you're telling us why you want to pursue a career in veterinary medicine, explain why you are a good candidate for veterinary school. I can't read. Veterinary school. Ask yourself, in a pile of 100 applicants, would I enjoy reading my statement? Like I said in my last video, I didn't even read that when I said that, I swear. Because literally, that was in the back of my mind the whole time. So, Pluto's playing with toys. Y'all know the vibes. If you hear something, it's him. Be sure to convey your passion for veterinary medicine in your statement. Many of you have meaningful experiences with animals or veterinarians as children, and these are important but should be only mentioned briefly. See, I told y'all. Okay, your application materials already contains a summary of your accomplishments, so avoid repeating information from your transcripts or reference letters. Give yourself time to organize your thoughts, write well, and edit as necessary. Ask yourself if this essay is a good representation of your character, ideals, and aspirations. Don't forget to proofread. That was a mouthful. I said a lot and I stopped because I can't read sometimes and I just be like, where am I at? So it hit a lot of the points I said in my last video. Do not spend too long talking about your childhood. Point 1. Point 2 is, in a pile of 100 applicants, why you? Like I said before, why you? What makes you special, right? So I'm gonna read you guys my response to that, and I will also like screenshot it, take a picture of it, and put it on the screen so y'all could also read what I wrote. So I said, and I told you I started off like the way I'm not supposed to start off. Ever since I was a little girl, I naturally had a love for animals that felt so unmatched to everything else in my world. I spent a lot of my free time begging my parents to enroll me in certain camps, clubs, and extracurriculars involving animals. As most adolescents do, I ended up switching my career interests, but still held on to my love of animals by spending time with my own. In high school, I was walking my dog Sadie, my Bae, when we ended up coming across a female Siberian Husky who ultimately ended up slashing Sadie's stomach and enlarging her gallbladder. The veterinarian on staff that day didn't think Sadie was going to make it. At that moment, I felt extremely helpless, especially financially. I was so upset that the doctor was writing Sadie off prior to receiving x-ray results and coming off cold to the people that cared about her more than life itself. This was the moment I knew I had to become a veterinarian. I never wanted another family to have an experience like my own, nor feel the way that I did in that moment. More importantly, I wanted to make a difference that would last beyond me. Thankfully, Sadie ended up making a speedy recovery and is still receiving an abundant amount of love from us to this day. However, from that day on, I began taking the steps necessary to enter the field of veterinary medicine. Fast forwarding to today, I've gained plenty of life-changing experience working with animals both large and small. Throughout these experiences, I discovered what kind of veterinarian I wanted to be. I witnessed plenty of veterinarians being in it for the monetary value it provides them, and others who truly carry a love for the passion in the job itself. I decided that as a veterinarian, I want to not only provide the best care for my patients that I treat personally, but I also want to spread my knowledge to clients while making it affordable for them as well. Looking at the world today, most pet owners aren't properly armed with the knowledge and financial ability to care for their pets prior to purchasing or adopting one. This is why some pets are given away, dumped, or taken to shelters. By using what I have currently learned and what I plan to learn at a veterinary school, I will be able to spread what I know to others. My passion is not only limited to helping animals recover and preparing them for a healthy life, but it's also extended to their owners who must be willing to understand and absorb the knowledge we give as their veterinarians. I want pets to be fully cared for inside and outside of my veterinary facility. This starts with providing owners with knowledge. Choosing my application is planting the seed necessary and producing a tree that can be fruitful for generations to come. Thank you to all who are reading and see the vision I will portray as a veterinarian. Ain't the girls down, baby. Okay, not sorry. I got a little hype for a second. Like, I read that, I'm like, yeah. With that being said, let's get into the nitty-gritty about what you need to type in your essay. I feel like what's important, and even just rereading my own personal statement, I told you guys not to leave out the, when I was a child, I always loved animals. See how I put it in there, but I didn't like harp on it for too long? I said, oh, I've had a love for animals. I went to a lot of camps, clubs as a kid about animals, but fast forward a little bit to when I was a teenager. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's really important. I don't know if the question is going to be the same for the personal statement. However, it's very important to really think back as a person. When was that moment I decided, oh, I got to do vet med? Like, that was the moment that I said, absolutely not. I'm going to be a veterinarian. Because mind you guys, I wanted to be an archaeologist. I wanted to be a dentist. I wanted to be a paleontologist. I wanted to be an orthodontist. I wanted to be a human doctor and do neurosurgery. I wanted to do a lot. So what made me come back to vet med? Okay, that's the first point I want you guys to think about. Why do you want to be in vet med? That you should already know the answer to that, but figure out how you can formulate that in a text. What can you say to show, oh, I really do want to be in vet med, and this was the moment I decided I wanted to be in it. Talk about that experience, because that's kind of what they want to know. They want to know why you got in this field. How'd you get here in the first place? How did you just know to apply for VMCAS? Because you didn't just wake up and saw it was VMCAS opening day and say, oh, I'm going to apply. You've had experience. The next thing that I also think is important is talking about things you've seen or done in the veterinary field that you liked, that you didn't like, that you want to change. Like, what do you, as an individual who's been in vet med, see there's an issue in it, and how do you, when you come into this field, plan to make a difference? I think that there's a lot of people that literally think that veterinarians play with puppies and kittens all day. And I really wish it was that simple. It's not. So you have to know what you're signing up for, and you have to have a purpose behind it besides just loving puppies and kittens and making money. It has to be more than that. It's a very mentally draining field if you let it become mentally draining. But if you try your best to keep involved and you try your best to, you know, give back to your community and to be a change, it's not going to feel so heavy on you all the time. But I think it's important to really figure out what changes you want to make as a veterinarian. What are you going to do? For me, it's giving back to y'all. That's one of the things I want to do to make a difference. And additionally, again, when I'm a veterinarian, I'm actually in practice, spreading that information to my clients. Let's recap right quick. The first point that we want to make is obviously how we got into vet med. How did we get here? What necessary situation happened that said, this is where such and such wants to be in vet med now? That's the first point. The second point is going to be, what experiences have I experienced that allow me to see the things I like, the things I don't like, and the things I want to change when I'm in the vet and med field. So those 2 points, they're going to build on each other, because this is who I used to be, right? In my essay. When I was a little girl, I loved animals. Boom. Touched on that, talked about how I wanted to go to camps. Bam. Who I used to be. This is the change that had to happen that made me decide I want to be in vet med. For me, it was Sadie getting attacked by that husky, and me going to Banfield and me and just in shambles as a kid. And I remember I didn't even tell my parents that she got bit. I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I carried her home, and she wasn't bleeding out profusely, but her belly was very red. Like, it was like bright colored red. I think I have a picture. So I mean, it was sad because, you know, she was hurt. But I don't know if you guys can see that. That was the same day. That was like a couple days after she came home from Banfield, and she was so out of it. They gave her pain meds, everything. So I put that little chihuahua under her because it looked just like her, and I took this picture of her after she left Banfield. I miss my dog so much, y'all. I really do. Oh, rest in peace to my girl. But this is that day, or a couple days after that day. So who you used to be, the situation that happened to help you become interested in vet med and you want to pursue it. What did that look like? And then now let's talk about my experiences. Let's talk about what I've done. Not too much, not in intricate detail, because that's going to be shown later in the application. That's where supporting information comes in, where you're going to talk about all your experiences, right? So this one, how I said in this situation, throughout these experiences, I discovered what kind of veterinarian I wanted to be. And I talk about how I work with large and small animal. Boom. Like, that's it. You don't have to go in detail. Like, that's it. You can say, I spend most of my time researching, and because I researched so much, that resulted in me deciding I wanted to focus on the public health aspect of veterinary medicine, and I decided I want to help cure cancer. I'm making it up, but you see how it correlates. Like, because I did research, now I want to help work with vaccines. Because I work with large animal, now I know that there's a gap in large animal medicine, and now I want to help create a flock of chickens that can not fly anymore. I'm making stuff up, but like, you gotta have a cause and effect. So what situation happened because of your experiences that you work with, this led me to do this now. And all of that, I've seen people who've been in vet med for money and will only do things for money and will charge people and not even do the procedure. Like, I've seen it. Where on the other aspect, backhand side of it, I've seen doctors do stuff because it's what they love to do. They genuinely love the animals. They love the people. They love the clients. They love it. I've seen both sides, both Libra scale vibes. So now I can take both of those aspects and say, I want to be like this. I don't want to do that. The change you want to implement. Your last and final point, because of that, I want to do this, and I want to change this, or I want to help grow this. Y'all see what I'm saying here? I hope it makes sense. By using what I have currently learned, what I plan to learn in vet school, I'll be able to spread what I know to others. That's what I want to change. I want to change the gap in knowledge of owners who don't know what they're talking about. Owners who genuinely are confused about what Bordetella is. Owners that don't understand how I can't just give your dog antibiotics and it'll go away. I want to give you the knowledge so you can understand why I can't ethically do that. You know what I mean? Once they have the knowledge, they're like, oh, well, that makes perfect sense. But once you start relating it to them in a way they can understand, if this was you and I didn't know you had a UTI, I'm not gonna just prescribe you antibiotics just because you wanted to stop. I have to go through procedures. Once you relate it back to them as a human, they're like, oh, that makes sense. So gap in knowledge is something I wanted to change. What do you want to change in vet med? What do you want to be different? Where's the gap that you want to bridge? That's basically kind of the formulation of I feel like all your essays, when you're writing your essays, and I'll do another segment about actual program essays because I have program essays to go through, but I'm not going to do that in this because this isn't, you guys are not there yet. The program applications don't open up till May 9th, so we're not going to sit here and stress about it right now. Focus on the personal statement, and the goal is once you type this all out, reread it and reread it again and then read it again and take a break. You know, go enjoy time with your friends, go to a movie, go out night on the town, go to the club or something. Then come back and read again, and then come back and read again and again and again and again. So you're going to keep rereading this until you're brain dead. Like, you're going to keep rereading it until it's time to submit this application. And before you hit submit, you better read it again. That's how much I need y'all to keep rereading stuff. Again, supporting information, a lot of it is about your references, it's about your experiences, and, you know, making sure that you have your experiences right. Make sure they can contact these people if need be, and give a real day-to-day basis of what you do on a regular basis in these tasks. I'm reading mine right now about how I volunteered and I help with sanctuary animals. Yep. And I did with pigs and chickens, and how I used to help with anesthesia monitoring and do x-rays and draw blood and take home medications, going over instructions, like all that good jazz. You're going to talk about that all in your supportive information section. We included this last statement, and honestly, God told me to put down that last portion, that last sentence in my thing where I said, choosing my application is planting the seed necessary in producing a tree that can be fruitful for generations to come. Thank you to all who are reading and see the vision I will portray as a veterinarian. God told me to put that statement in there. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I ain't come up with it. I ain't make it up. God said it. I typed it. Change it. Like, change it up. Say, like, I don't know, choosing my application is the first step in creating a more balanced environment in the veterinary medicine field. Like, have a closing statement, and definitely make sure you always make sure that you thank whoever's reading, because even in my emails when I'm typing to professors or anybody, I always say thank you so much for your time and energy, because it takes time and energy to read what I'm putting down. Thank you for being a part of the process. Thank you for reading it, and thank you for taking the chance on me. You can say that too. Something short, sweet, to the point. You know, nothing too crazy. Really that simple right now. It gets nitty gritty when we get to programs. So once May 9th rolls around and I can give you guys another rundown of program essays and stuff, that's gonna be the one for real bad. Like, that's gonna be the deep detailed one, because you want to make sure you're answering your questions. We'll talk about how to answer them, how to strategically think through them, how to write them down, how to bullet point them out. We're gonna get there, but right now I want you guys to focus on those 4 points that I said before, and y'all got this. This is the beginning of the series, the road or the journey to DVM, and y'all got this. I really feel like that's the end of my video. And this is probably gonna be the quickest video, y'all. I've never had a video this quick, where I just be running my mouth and talking. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. I really hope it helped you. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything, I'll answer them below. So make sure you leave a comment down below. And I'll see you guys in my next video. So stay tuned. Bye.